party people. Welcome to the latest installment of Back to School with Ruth. I'm Ruth, your host. So today I'm gonna go a little bit easy, have like a little light funny video, and I'm gonna tell you school time story times. So from 2012 to 2016, which was the years that I was in high school, my school was on the news 5 times. Yeah. So I've always been like a nerd, I guess. I love to learn. I love everything. So like I thankfully was not involved in anything that happened. I was just an innocent bystander who loves tea, who loves drama, not to be a part of it, but like I'm super nosy. I love to like know what was happening and everything. So to start things off, freshman year, 2012 to 2013. Young freshman Ruth walked into high school and, I didn't like it. Does any freshman like high school right off the bat? No, I don't think so. So in December, right before the world was supposed to end, there was a little like going on in one of the cafeterias. So in my high school, we had 2 cafeterias and then like a satellite cafeteria outside near like the basketball courts. We had the old cafeteria, which was like kind of small, and then the new cafeteria, which was like where all the stuff went down because it was like giant, like sprawling, lots of space. And we had like that little old like satellite cafeteria. So one fateful day in December, a bunch of boys decided to play this game where the object of the game was to slap each other as hard as humanly possible, until one of them was like, I give up, like I can't take these slaps anymore. But the kicker isn't that. The kicker is that the security guards that were supposed to be like guarding us from not killing each other were like, yeah, slap him hard, like finish him, whatever. They were literally in the video of that entire like dilemma. The security guards were there recording, cheering them on, and like not doing their job. So these 2 boys, one of which had like a full ride to insert expensive college here, got in crazy trouble because you could clearly see their faces in the video, and they were like slapping the crap out of each other, and it was wild. And the entire like new cafeteria like got into a giant circle around them, and they were like, yeah, like finish him, kill him, until the principal got news of what was happening and came to like separate it, because that's not normal. But yeah. And then if you thought that was it for freshman year, no. In April, March, someone decided that they were gonna try to sell brownies with marijuana, Xanax, and then a couple of other drugs, sprinkled in there in the middle of school. So one day I walk into school, right? And they were selling right in front of like the door to enter the building that my class was at. And like they were just giving out like brownies or whatever. I didn't think much of it because I don't know if in your schools they let this happen, but in my school you could like bring chocolate, bring candies, like bring chips, and like sell them for fundraisers for whatever. Like nobody really questioned it up until this happened. So I remember seeing this and like not thinking anything of it because like it was normal, like it was a regular occurrence. Like people sold brownies and cookies and like none of them had anything in it. So I walk on by, go along my merry like freshman way to my class. Literally like not 2 hours later, you hear this announcement over the PA, and like the principal is going, if anybody ate any brownies this morning, please report down to the office at once. And that's where I was like, oh my God, things just got bad. They dismissed us for lunch like right after that, because we have lunch, like my school has one giant like 1 hour lunch. they dismissed us for lunch right after that, and there were literally kids being taken out of my school on stretchers because of like how much like of everything. Like they didn't just put like a couple of, like they didn't just put weed and Xanax. There were other things that like I don't know the name of, like in those brownies, and it was so much, like so concentrated, that in the middle of class kids were literally passing out, throwing up and everything. And then when they asked them like what they all had in common, it was the brownies. Like, let me know. And they were being pulled out on stretchers and everything. And after that, they put a moratorium on bringing in baked goods. But yeah, so my sophomore year, I was in chorus because I'm like a very like theater nerd kind of person. I was in chorus, living my best life, singing them arias, like you already know. When we have like a code yellow. A code yellow is like, oh, like kids can't walk in the halls, like, you know, like stay quiet, whatever. Next thing you know, they're calling a code red, which is like turn off the lights, like secure the doors, put your kids in like the darkest corner of the entire room because like se puso mala la cosa. So the chorus class was giant, and like the door was far away from where we were hiding, and we were all just sitting there like on the floor in a huddled little mass in a dark corner of the room, and we're all like, oh my god, what is happening? Why are we doing this right now? Because like my school was like in a pretty okay neighborhood, like there's like it's not a bad neighborhood. We were in my laptop. We were in code red for like, honestly, it felt like forever. But it was only like, I don't know, it was like less than an hour. So the code red ends, and obviously, naturally, we've been sitting in like a dark corner of the room for like however long now, and we all want to know like why, like what happened. Like they can't just say code red is over and like want everything to go back to normal. So we're all like chismeando, like trying to figure out what was happening. And my chorus teacher, like, you know, he was trying to like figure out too. Turns out that there was a man who had just robbed a jewelry store, and he was like, he had weapons and everything. He was running like through our school to evade the cops. Schools need to get better security, because there's no reason why a grown man who's a robber, who's obviously like armed, running away from the cops, should be anywhere near school grounds. Like, but yeah, that was the only like newsworthy thing that happened that year. And then junior year, this one was kind of interesting because like I was a trainer in high school, and we would like take care of like people who played sports, like wrap their ankles, wrap their wrists, like secure their fingers when anything happens. And I spent a lot of time in the locker room as a result. So at some point in my junior year, there's this expose on this like Hispanic news channel here, and they're like, my high school is covered in mold, this and that or whatever, but they never like showed any proof of like where the mold was or like what the problem was with the mold, because like mold happens, it's gross and disgusting and unsanitary. But like, you know, my school was like one of the oldest schools in our district, so like, I mean, I guess like it's old, like just, you know, deal with the mold, I guess. The night after that happens, there's like camera crews and all of these things in our locker room, and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, baby, this mold better not be in this locker room. And guess where it was, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody had sent in an anonymous tip that our school was being overrun with mold. And I guess they were right, because the next night after I had seen like those camera crews and everything like leave, and I left the school to go home, I turn on that same news channel, and they're literally removing like roof tiles and like pulling off like wall tiles that are just covered in mold. Like the entire roof of the locker room, the entire like all the walls in the locker room were covered, like covered in mold. And I had spent all that time in there. So I was just like, so yeah. My junior year was very interesting because that was the year that we were exposed for being a moldy school. But yeah, I feel like that one really isn't as bad as like the brownie. I feel like the brownie was like the peak of like the bad things that happened in my school. And then my senior year was very interesting. Like, I don't know, I feel like when you're a senior, you're kind of like over it and you're like, I just want to graduate, go to college, whatever, like get my life done. So my senior year was pretty quiet up until one fateful day towards the end of the year when two poor souls decided to procreate on the bathroom floor of the 3rd floor of my school. It was a scandal, and I don't understand why you chose to do that. I mean, like, cars exist, there's other places to like procreate that aren't like the bathroom floor of a school, but to each their own. So I feel like the most interesting part of this story is that someone took a picture. Like, I don't know, somebody went to that bathroom to go pee, to go because they heard noises, whatever, and they snapped a picture of like the people, because like the boy was like laying down on the floor. Use your imagination. And they both had shoes on. So somebody snapped a picture, uploaded it to social media, and before the day was out, everybody in school knew who those two people were. Chaos ensued. People would like get on social media and harass, like they would like, people got on social media and they roasted and toasted and flamed the girl. They were like, oh my god, like how dirty, like how can she do that in a bathroom, like what a, insert expletives here. And obviously they attacked the girl because like that's the world we live in. Like they were both doing the deed, not just the girl. Again, gross, I don't agree with it, but at the same time, like if you're gonna attack somebody for doing something, make sure you attack both parties, not just the female. So I hopped onto my social media, radical feminist Ruth Artsy, that's a joke, and I was like, if you guys are really gonna like flame the girl, at least like have the decency to realize that she wasn't like doing it herself. Like there were two people involved, and even if you think it's not correct or whatever, like there's no need to torture somebody like that. Like yeah, like what she was doing was messed up, but like she wasn't doing it alone. And then the next day I walk into the office to go pick up a paper, and my vice principal walks up to me and she's like, is this your social media account? And I was like, yeah, why? And she's like, I just want to let you know that you're a very brave person. Like not everybody has the strength to like speak out and say that, like to stop bullying and to speak out for a girl who's getting tortured even when there's like two people and everything. And I was like, that's very nice of you, thank you, but how do you know what my social media is? And then she's like, we have our ways. And I was like, we're going back on private. But yeah, I had a very interesting high school life. A lot of things happened, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little refresher from the very difficult first week of school. Okay, bye.